Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and we have got an intriguing idea in this puzzle today. It's by, is it Belamis or Belamis? It's called Smallest Chaotic Killer. It is one of the most recommended puzzles of recent times, actually. We have had about a dozen emails it's sort of saying that this is perfect for the channel in a very short space of time. And it's got 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, something like a 98% approval rating. And you can see there's no 3x3 boxes in the grid. And the idea is, let's look at this cage, for example. If that had, I don't know, if the lowest digit in that was a 3, then that would mean that 3 of the sort of 9 cell regions in the puzzle were part of that cage. So that cage would have to be broken up into 3 different regions. I suppose at the limit it could be 4, or it could be entirely in one region, in which case there would be a 1 in the cage. It's a really clever idea, so simple, but apparently leads to a really wonderful solve. So anyway, I'll read the rules properly in a moment or two's time, and this is what we're going to be attempting in today's puzzle. Today's video. Thank you very much, by the way. Yesterday I pointed out that it's been 5 years now since the start of the first COVID lockdown here in the UK, and that was the moment that Mark and I sort of decided, right, we're going to do 2 videos every day. So we have now reached that 5-year birthday, and there were a lot of lovely comments on yesterday's video, for which we're both very grateful, so thank you. What else can I talk to you about today? Over on Patreon, very soon, there's going to be solution videos for the monthly reward, Blobs' NURIKABE based Sudoku hunt, so check that. If you did get stuck, check those out, although I know so many of you managed to solve the whole thing. Anything else? I talked yesterday about our trip to Oxford on Friday, which was great. It was really lovely, as always, as it was in Stratford, to actually see people who watch the channel in real life. And a few of you asked me about that and sort of said, how different is it in front of a live audience? It is really different, because when I'm here in my office at home, I'm sort of looking at a webcam, but I can't see any real people. So it's like an internal, it's like a conversation with myself. I'm just talking to myself. That's what my brain seems to think when I do the videos. But obviously when we're live and we see people who've actually made the effort to come and see us, it is a very different feeling, and it really brings it home to you. So to all those of you who came up to me on the day, I was really grateful and I was touched, so thank you for that. Thank you too to Alister. It was Alister who recommended Thomas Hardy's poem Channel Firings, which I read in yesterday's video. What a poem that is. So Alister, and I do agree with you that the Glebe Cow would be a good name for a pub. And I've got 2 birthdays to do today. Let's have a look at those. Emily, your brother Jason wrote to us and told us you enjoy chocolate cake very much, but you would enjoy it even more if you got chocolate cake wishes today. So I wish you the very best of chocolate cakes, and of course the best of birthdays, Emily. I hope it is a good one, and I hope the cake is very heavily iced. And then also Jake over there in Seattle. You turned 31 today, and I know this because your wife Lauren wrote to us and said that you watch every day. So Jake, thank you very much for doing that, and I hope you have a great birthday with cake, of course. Goes without saying, I can just hear that Maverick has taken off from the local airfield. So we may get a little bit of aeroplane noise as I have my window open. The weather is slightly better than usual today. But with that said and done, let's turn our attention to doing some solving and have a look at Smallest Chaotic Killer by Belamis, probably. These are the rules. Actually, it starts with killer. It says, digits do not repeat in cages, and sum to the digits. Probably that should be the number in the top left corner. I suppose 19 technically isn't a digit, is it? It's made of 2 digits. So yeah, I think those 4 digits, no, those 4 cells, well, and they will have digits in them, sum to 19, and they can't include a repeated digit. And then it says chaos construction. Divide the grid into regions, each consisting of 9 orthogonally connected cells. So a region could be that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 9. Yeah, it could be that. Each row, column, and region contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. So if this was a region, we'd have to make sure the digits 1 to 9 once each appeared in that, while at the same time making sure that obviously the digits 1 to 9 appear once in this row and in this column, etc., as usual. And then there's this clever rule where it says the smallest digit in each cage counts the number of different regions that enter that cage. That's very well expressed, much more succinct than I was able to do in the introduction. And that's all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, it's always a bit daunting to be faced with a chaos construction. Okay. There's a couple of cages I can see tiny restrictions for. An 8 cage must have a 1 in it. And there's 2 ways of making it work. It's either 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 5. But okay, so I see. So what that means is this is all one cage, doesn't it? Because there is a 1 in this cage. 1 is the smallest digit in Sudoku. So the 1 is telling us how many regions enter this cage. So it's all the same cage. Oh, right. I can't put a 1 or a 2 in a 3-cell 20 cage because the other 2 digits won't take the cage up high enough to get to 20. But remember, you can't repeat a digit, so we can't put 992 in here. It's 3 different digits, and this cannot be separated into more than 3 regions, so it must be a 3 and an 8 and a 9. Now that is more interesting actually than this one, because what that means, we're going to have to go to the pen tool, I think. Let's pick. But we've got that going on then, haven't we? Yeah, actually, I'm starting to see how this. I'm starting to see how this could finish, or not finish, but how it is very meaningfully restricted. Look at the 11 cage now. Well, clearly, that cannot all be in one cage or one region, because then it would be a 1 and a 10. So that must be 2 and 9, and that must be split up. And now this square can't be 9 by dint of Sudoku. Yeah, oh, this is good. It's really lovely. It's really lovely. Look now. There is definitely a 9 in the 20 cage. It's in one of those 2 squares. There is definitely a 9 in the 11 cage. There is now no 9 in the 25 cage. But remember, the smallest digit that we can actually... Well, yeah, that's right, isn't it? So this has now got... Because it can't contain a 9, the maximum the other 3 of the digits could be would be 8, 7 and 6, which is 21. And the other digit has to then be a 4. And it can't, the smallest digit in there can't be more than 4 because there are only 4 cells in it. So this has to be 4, 7, 4, 6, 7, 8. And all of these are in different regions. So yeah, there's a lot of... Oh, I know what somebody said I ought to do to help myself and people watching with any OCD issues around whether or not I actually fully I'm going to actually surround the grid with the lines, therefore I won't miss borders of regions. Yeah, now look at this square. Because this 25 cage is in 4 different regions, this cell is going to have to come up there to get out, and these are all different. So let's... Oh, my phone's buzzing, that's fine. Blue, orange, what should we make that one? These are the important decisions. We could make it yellow. Is that a bit close to orange? Black. Oh, that's controversial, but we'll go for a darker colour. Now, the orange has to get out, the blue has to get out, so the blue has to come down there. Now, and probably I meant to think about how this all works at the top, but that, well, yeah, I see. Okay, these two cells are in different regions, and they both have to get out of the sort of northwest corner of the grid, don't they? So this one's going to have to slither that way. Now, what I don't know, and what we're going to have to be careful about, is whether yellow overlaps with any of these colours down here. I'm not sure it can, but let's bear that in mind. Now this square, this could be purple. In fact, what I might do is get rid of purple there. Let's bring that one out. This one might join up with this, we don't know. And then this one, I'm going to make that one red. No, I'm not. I'm going to make it... No, I am, I think. I was going to use lime green, but I think that's a worse choice. More aeroplane noise. So red comes out here, but that means... Oh, that's great. That's pushed purple into the 8 cage, so I could have left this as purple. Now red has to keep going, because of course all of these have to be 9 cells by the end of their growth. Once they're fully mature, they should all be 9 cells large. That corner digit is yellow or purple, because no, we can't make any other colour live in there and have 9 cells in it. So we can do a bit more drawing of borders. And okay, I don't quite know what to do with that. What's this? Is this going to be green? If that was not green, it would whatever this was would have to come out that way, wouldn't it? And that would be extremely forcing. Yeah, I mean, that's quite an interesting thought. Imagine this was... I've chosen a terrible colour there. Actually, I know what I'll do. I'll make this indigo. So let's... If this was indigo rather than being green, green would come there, black would go there, orange would go there, and that one would go there. Ah, a 13 cage in 4 cells, that must have a 1 in it. Because imagine it didn't. 2, 3, 4 and 5 add up to 14. That's too many. 14 is a different number to 13, knowledge bomb. So, there is a 1 in there. That means this is all the same region. Now, is that blue? Or could it be a new region? It can't be orange, can it? Because then blue will get shut in. If it was not blue... then there would need to be a 1 in the 11 cage. Oh, this is... No, okay, this is very clever. This is beautiful setting. Right, forget this down here. I'm going to come back here. If indigo exists... That's the question I'll start with. Does indigo exist? I'm going to assume for a moment that it does, i.e. it is a separate region from anything else in the puzzle. Where does green go? There. Where does black go? Here. Now the 11 cage has got 3 different regions in it. So its lowest digit is a 3. That means the minimum digits it could have in it would be 3, 4, 5, which sum to 12. That's too many. That is too many. So instead, indigo doesn't exist. Indigo is green. And we can't... This has either got 1 or 2 regions in it. It just cannot have 3 regions. Yellow. Okay, yellow goes round the corner now. Red must go round the corner. And you see, I've not even thought about all these cages over here. This is probably also going to be fruitful, isn't it? What about 10 cages? Oh, okay, they could be... Well, okay. A 10 cage in this puzzle that's a domino is either a 1-9 or a 2-8. And the reason for that is you can't split a 2-cell cage into more than 2 regions. So it's either got a 2 as its lowest digit or a 1 as its lowest digit. And actually these are different, aren't they? Imagine this was 1, 9. This would have to be 2, 8, because this cell could be neither 1 nor 9. And the vice versa, if that's 2, 8, this would be 1, 9. So one of these is split and one of them isn't. And so far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've definitely got 7 of the 9 regions that sort of, at least beginning. They are nascent and born over on the left side of the grid. Sort of, it feels slightly unlikely to me there's going to be new regions starting over here, because then to get to all these cells we're going to have regions that really stretch horizontally, and this one, for example, can't stretch very far horizontally. It's already got 7 cells in it. Okay, 19. Again, the lowest digit this can have in it can't be a 4, for example, because there are only 3 cells in it. It can't be a 1, because 1 double 9 will not work from a Sudoku perspective. So this is either 2, 8, 9, or 3, 7, 9. It has a 9 in it, and that's beautiful. Because that, well, beautiful, it gives me a 2, it gives me a 9 here. Oh, and I see, and the 2 then bounces back over there. So there is no 2 in this. So this is 3, 7, 9. And it's in 3 different regions, so we can do that. Right, what about the 5 cage then? See, the 5 cage could have a 1 in it, and then it would just be the same region. So it's either 1, 4 or 2, 3. Ah, okay. So let's now combine. Actually, I'm not sure this is going to do that much, but I'm going to show you anyway. There is definitely a 1 or a 2 in this cage. There is definitely a 1 or a 2 in that cage. So this square can be neither 1 nor 2 in the column, which means this square definitely is a 1 or a 2. And I don't know what to do with that. Bobbins. Oh, okay, so we have to think again. Right, I see. The 11 cage, the lowest digit in it is now 2. We worked out before it couldn't have 3 different... Yeah, it couldn't have 3 different regions because 3, 4, 5 is 12. If it had 1 region in it, that would now be orange. Orange would grow and black would be shut in. So the lowest digit in this is 2. And then there are 2 more digits in here that sum to 9, which are either going to be 3, 6 or 4, 5. But it definitely contains a 2. Yeah, and the other colour that is in the 11 cage must be black, because if it wasn't black, black couldn't get out. It would sort of be penned in. It would be penned into that domino, and that's going to render black too small. So these squares are orange or black, and the top one must be black, because if it wasn't, if this was black and that was orange, that would imply that we could create a 9-cell region of black here, and orange somehow would loop round a 9-cell region and only be 9 cells itself. That's not going to work. Let me just show you why that is. The most efficient way you could pack 9 cells would be this. And let's look at those 2 squares and see if they could both be orange. If this was and you can see, if you draw that shape, it's 11. So you just can't do it. It won't work. And that clearly as well, the packing here would not be that efficient, because this is going to have to come out here, and then that's going to make orange even longer to loop round it. So this square is definitely black. That one I don't think we know. That one, well, it's black or green. Right, so green still has to grow a little bit more, at least. One. Yeah, if that's green, green is now quarate. It is completely finished. But yellow now has to grow. So red has to grow. So red's now entered the 19 cage. I'm not quite sure. Does that mean... I don't know. I'm just wondering whether or not... Well, actually, how 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, no, hang on, I'm getting confused. I was thinking that 19 cage had a 1 in it for some reason. I don't think it... Well, it almost certainly doesn't, actually, unless maybe red pours down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay, so the yellow does go into the 19 cage. So the 19 doesn't have a 1 in it, because if it did, all 4 of those would then be yellow, and yellow would have at least 10 cells in it. So the lowest digit in the 19 cage is at least a 2. 4, 5, 6, 7 is too many. So it's 2 or 3 is the lowest digit in here. Which is a bit difficult to visualize, isn't it, in terms of how that might end up looking. The other thing that could be going on, which I have given no thought to, is sort of irregular Sudoku. For example, 2 has to live in the green region somewhere. So if that was green, green would be finished, and there's a 2 in one of those, so there would have to be a 2 in that domino. Okay, I don't know what to do with that. Why is my phone buzzing at me? Let me just check that's nothing. I don't think it's anything important. There's definitely a 1, isn't there, in there, so... How should we think about this now? So whatever this is, I bet this must be blue, because if it isn't, blue will shut in either orange or black. Let's see if that's true. So if this is not blue, then blue would have, well, it's instantly a problem. Instantly a problem. Orange is shut in. So that's great. That means that this is blue. Right, this is great now, because now, how do we get orange out? I don't know whether that's orange, but I can see if this wasn't orange, orange would be trapped. So that's orange. That means that's black. Now, still, how do you get orange out? This is brilliant, this puzzle. Orange now has to do that. I don't know whether that's orange. This could be orange and help orange to escape, but now black is penned in again. Black is still penned in. It's nowhere near 9 cells. We know that yellow is nowhere near complete, so yellow has to go that way. Does that have to be yellow? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it does. That's definitely yellow as well. And black... Well, black certainly still has to grow. So there's a 2 in there, and you can see that the 2 is not in yellow because 2's already had a yellow. So there's a 2 in one of those, and 3 more digits that add up to 17 that don't include a 1. But okay, 2 has now appeared in black, but 2 must also be in the 11 cage here. So that one is not a 2. So if this was black, then this would be a 2 in orange. Orange, 1, 2, 3, orange still has to grow. Possibly quite a lot. It's got to grow to at least there, and possibly further still if that's black. So black has to keep growing again, even if all of these are black. Okay, that could be the end of black. If everything there is black, Oh no, everything there couldn't be black because green's been shut in. That's important. So that has to be green. Otherwise green can't get 9 cells. So is that our first region, I think? And now black to get out does take this square. So orange must take this square to get out, and therefore we can draw loads of boundaries. Loads of boundaries. Loads more boundaries. And now what we've got to do is to keep account of this. So right. Okay, I'm going to ask the original question, which is where is the green 2? Given there's a 2 in there, the green 2 is here. Where is the 2 in the 11 cage? It's here. Therefore this is not a 2, so this is not an 8. Oh, it's close, isn't it? So blue has got a 1 in it. And blue is only 7 at the moment. So even if blue took this one... Oh, no, blue can't... Oh, hang on. hang on. I'm not sure, actually. I was about to say blue couldn't take this one, because then it could only take 1 cell of one of these. But that's okay if it's the 2-8 one that it took the 1 cell from. Because one of these is entirely one thingy. Thingy being the technical term for a region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if that was orange, that would be a 2. And that's impossible. That's a little bit more difficult to see. The reason that's impossible, let me explain. Orange would be finished now. It can't grow anymore. So orange cannot take this. So this would have to be a 2 region domino. So this is an 8, this is a 2. That means this is a 1, 9. It's only got 1 colour in it. But that colour would have to be blue. And once this is double blue, that cell has no possible fill because blue would be finished. It would have 9 cells. So that wouldn't be, it just doesn't work, does it? So orange has to come here, I think, for its final piece of its jigsaw. Now, what does all that mean? Have we learnt something very good from that? Okay, so whichever one of these blue hits, and it must hit one of them at least, that's going to be a 2, 8. The blue cannot go through the 1, 9 because blue already has a 1 in it. So of these squares, exactly one of the cells is blue. But that doesn't preclude it from being sort of those two, does it? And then a different region could come along here. Although that doesn't work, because then this couldn't... Oh no, that would work. That would work. No, I'm wrong. Sorry. I was trying to think about whether or not I could actually get that region out, but I think I can. Oh, okay. Let's do that then. let's change tack slightly. There's a 7-cell region here. 2 of these cells are blue. I don't know which 2. Let's say those 2 just for the sake of simplicity. That means these cells are all 1 colour. There are 8 cells there, which means these 2 cells must be the same region. And now let's pick purple because it's unlikely this is going to hit that one. Now, having said that, I think that's where that region must end. Now, so the 19, we would have known the 19 had to have at least two regions in it anyway, because it couldn't be 199. Yeah, so one of these is going to be entirely purple. It's either that one or that one. Oh, bobbins, I feel like that must be solved somehow, and I can't see how to do it. What about the purple at the top then? It's got 5 cells in it, maybe 6. Oh, hang on, red. I didn't see this. Red's totally shut in. It can't go any further, so red's got to do this. Oh, that's massive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So purple has to come across the top. This, oh no, could that be yellow? No, that could be yellow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, even if that is red, which it can't be actually. Oh, that is yellow, sorry. Because red has already entered the 19 cage, and the 19 cage has 3 different regions in it. That is not red, so it must be yellow. And now that corner digit has to be purple, I think. Because yellow has got 9 cells in it. Sorry, I could have seen all this much more quickly if I'd focused up here. So now, red has to go there, and that's really nice. Because now, this has 2 different regions in it, so its lowest digit is a 2, which means this isn't a 3. This is not 2, 8 anymore. This is 1, 9. So this is 8. This is 2, and now because this can't be blue, otherwise this square would be stranded, these are both purple, this is blue, that is blue, and purple fills all of those squares, and we've sorted out the bottom, bizarrely, by considering the top of the grid. Now I think we can do more though, because this whole area at the top is now constrained far more than it was. That cannot be red because red's already gone into this 19 cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, hang on. How many is that? 7, 8. One more. So that's purple. Red needs one more. That must be it. So red is finished. Right, and there's a new region here. There's only space for one more region that's not black. Right. Yeah, there's one more region. So there's 1 cell. Yeah, black is going to go there or there, and the rest of this area is a different colour. And we haven't used lime green, so we're going to make that lime green. And so this, we don't know which way round this goes. It's probably, oh, well, that's got a 1 in it now. The 11 cage. So that's 1 and 2 digits that sum to 10. Okay, and those digits are not, 2, 8, because that 19 cage has 2 regions in it, so its lowest digit is a 2, and I know where that 2 goes. It goes there, and those 2 squares add up to 17, and they are an 8, 9 pair, and I know the order, because you can't repeat 9 in purple. And that might be handy. That apparently is a 7 by Sudoku. So this column hasn't had the middly digits in it. Maybe they've got to be 4, 5 and 6. There's going to be all sorts of irregular Sudoku going on. This is either 137 or 146. Hang on, let me just think about this. Where is the simple deduction here that's just going to break this open? It's going to be, I don't know. Ah. Well, yeah, I see. Look at the 8 cage here. Now an 8 cage has 2 different ways of working, 134 or 125. It's not 134. And the reason for that is, if it was 134, there would be a 3 in this cage. Well, there's a 3 in that cage, and there's a 3 in that cage. So look at the top 2 rows now. we are claiming, if we do put a 3 in the 8 cage, we're claiming there are 3 3s in 2 rows of this Sudoku. That's impossible. You will repeat a 3 in a row if you do that. So this must be 1, 2, 5, which is a small win for the goodies. Now, okay, given that knowledge of 3s, neither of those can be a 3. So this, oh, there's a 7. There's a 7 in lime green. Sorry, I didn't see that. So that's also not 3. This is 1, 4, 6. This is 3, 5, 7 at the bottom, which means these squares are 4 and 6 to complete purple. Now that must be a reasonable deduction. What do we still need in lime green? We need 3, 5 and 8. So they're definitely from 3, 5 and 8. 3 is not there by Sudoku. I'm going to write 1 into the corners. That's the sort of law of leftovers. That's the simplest form of law of leftovers that you'll get in an irregular Sudoku. So the question we can ask is, where does this digit go in row 1 of the grid? And because it can't repeat in purple, yet it must appear in the top row, it must be there. And look at the, if we look at the sort of the Venn diagram, 1, 2, 5, 1, 4, 6, the only overlapping digit is 1. So we can do that. That's 2, 5. So this is 3. This is 2. This is not 3. That 2, is that doing anything? These are now a 4, 6 pair. Oh, bobbins, I don't know. That I feel like that's doing something. I just can't see it. Okay. No. Okay, I still can't see quite how to. There's another law of leftovers thing with the dark green there. Again, if you sort of think about where those 3 digits go in column 1, they must go in those 3 squares, mustn't they? So one of these is that digit, which is 3 or 8. I don't know if I'm meant to know which one. Blue has an 8 in it, so that's not an 8. Orange must have an 8 in it somewhere, and that 8 in orange is in one of 2 places, because it can't be here and it can't be here because of these 2 8s. Actually, I'm getting a bit stuck now. I'm not sure how to. Do I know the way to San Jose? No, I don't. Where shall I'm not sure where to look. The 13 cage, I've definitely not thought very much about that. There are different ways of making 13. Even once you know it's got a 1 in it. If there was no 2 in it, you'd know it was 3, 4, 5 as the extra digits. But it well, actually it probably has a 2 in it, but if it does have a 2 in it, it has to go there. That's almost tricky. Actually, maybe that is not a bad idea. 2's in the grid. They are the digit I have the most of. So where have I got to put 2? I've got to put 2. I've got 3 2's left to place. 1 there, and 1 in this blue region at the bottom, which is going to be in one of those 3 positions. Ah, bobbins, look at that. That's okay, isn't it? So I don't think we're going to learn which of those is possible, unfortunately. Okay, so that's not how to do it. Let's try something else. These 2 digits add up to 9, don't they? So they are either 4, 5 or 3, 6. And that square. So if this was 4, 5, that would be a 6 in black. I'm not sure. Or maybe... Oh, good grief, where's 9 in black? That is not a question that I was very close to thinking about, but I've just noticed that 9 rules out all those. Those don't seem to be able to be. Obviously, neither of those could be a black 9, so that is a black 9 exactly there. And now, where does 9 go in orange? Oh, that's lovely. And now, okay, that's great. Now this is a 9, this is a 3. So 3 has appeared now in red. 9 has appeared in yellow. And oh, come on, that I feel like that's doing something. All right, let's double click the 9s and think about those a bit more. So there's a 9 in one of those two. And oh dear. No, okay, so we're going to get a bit bogged down, I think, at the top of the grid. There has to be a 9 in purple and there has to be a 9 in red. And obviously one of those is there. But I'm not seeing much else in terms of restriction. One of them is there. There's going to be a 9. So those are the positions of 9s in the top 2 rows in both of those dominoes I've just outlined. And then the next question after that is going to be, where is 9 in blue? Ah, that's it. Where's 9 in blue? It's actually there. That's the only place it can go. So that's 9, that's 1. Actually, I think that's going to do remarkably little, unfortunately. Yeah, okay, where's 8 in the bottom row? The answer is in the corner, because it can't repeat in blue. Now that 8 is in this funny old 25 cage. It's a bit difficult to see because I've sort of been dividing it all up, but that is now a 4, 6, 7 triple. 8 in orange is apparently now placed. And these squares are 1, 3 and 5 in the column. Oh, my phone is buzzing. 1, 3, 5. That's not 3. By the dint of this. Oh, nearly. It's nearly interesting with these two squares potentially having to both be 3, isn't it? Okay, I don't think I can do that. Let's keep going with, I think, the high numbers now. So let's have a look at 8s again. Oh, nearly. I was going to say, where is 8 in black? But I think that could possibly be a black 8. No, it couldn't, actually. If that was a black 8, lime green couldn't have an 8 in it. So the black 8 is in one of those squares. Now that's in a 19 cage that contains a 2. So, in fact, that is not the black 8. So we've got 10 in these squares. There's going to be 2 more cells in this 19 cage that sum to 9. And they aren't going to be 1, 8, and they're not going to be 2, 7. If they were 3, 6, the 3 would be in one of those cells because of this 3. But it's either 3, 6 or it's 4, 5, isn't it? Now, can we do something with that? I'm almost tempted to pencil mark it. Now, there must be some cleverer way of thinking about this. This is either... Well, this square is either 6 or 4, 5. Is there some way we know? These squares are 2, 8, and then either 3 in one of those, or 4, 5, which could be anywhere. I mean, that's a distressing. That is a distressing pencil mark. Where's 1 in black? Oh, well, it was a distressing pencil mark, but it's made me ask the right question. Where's 1 in black? There is nowhere to put it apart from here. So that is black. It is 1. And now that's finished our shading, or finished our region division. That has to be lime green. This digit it's not 4 or 6, is it? It's 5, because 4 or 6 has already appeared. So we get 8 there, we get 3 there, we get a 1, 5 pair here, which makes this a 3. Now there is no 3 in here, so it has got 4 and 5 in it. So let's deal with this. It's not got 6 in it. This is the 4, therefore. So this is 2, 5, 8. Let's get rid of all pencil marking. 2, 5, 8 removes 5. Oh, they had to add up to 9. So they are now 3, 6. That's a 4. And that's a 7. And the good thing about that, he says, touch wood, is that it does seem that didn't break any Sudoku. So it's probably right. 6, 7 into these squares, and we know the order. 1, 4, 5 down here. 2, 3, 7 here. They must be the same as these. So that must be 3, not 8. And that must be 7 in the corner. That's probably helpful for some reason that I'm not seeing. 5 here is useful. So this row has not had 6, 7 and 8 in it. And that must be 8. This must be a 6, 7 pair. Might be resolved by something I'm not seeing. In this column, we've not had 1, 4 and 5. So this square's a 4. It sees 1 and 5. And this is a 1, 5 pair, so we can fill those in. Now, what next? I do think that's a reasonable breakthrough. We can do that digit. That's a 6. So that's a 4. That's a 6. That's a 6. That's a 4. 4 is now in my 4 is not only in my 13 cage. I know where it goes. It goes there. This is not a 1 anymore because there's a 1 in one of these cells. So what have we got in here? We've got a 4 and a 1. And then 2 digits that sum to 8 that are not 1, 7 or 2, 6. So this is 1, 3, 5 into these squares. And that's not 1. And surely we can do better than that. That's a 5 by Sudoku. So that's a 5. This is a 1, 3 pair. This is a 7 over here. We don't just have a chance for a 3 in the corner. We have got a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Aha, look at this. 4, 1. This is a 3 or a 6. Well, it's not a 6. So 3, 3, 6. In this bottom, 2 and 7, I think, is what we're after in these 2 squares. It's probably resolved by something, but I can't see what. And these squares are 1, 5, and 7. Yeah, okay. 1, 5, 7. We might be chocolate teapotted there. Doesn't feel like we should be, does it? It feels like that should be resolved, but I can't see why. Whoops. That's not 8. There's a 2, 5 pair in column 4, which makes that a 7, that a 2. This is 6, that a 7. And okay, the 5 at the bottom. If I'd scanned all the way to the top, we would have been fine. So that's a 2, that's an 8, that's a 5, that's a 1, that's a 7, that's a 5. This column needs what? 3 and 9? Yeah, that looks okay. 3 and 9. So 9 and 8. We haven't put 6 into purple. We also haven't actually put 6 into red, and it must go there. We've got a 7 and an 8 to place. So 7, 8, 6, 4. Possibly correct. No, possibly not correct. Might be correct now. That's a great puzzle, by the way. Belamis, that is a great puzzle. Really, I mean, that rule set, I think that could be used again. It felt like it was really clever, really cleverly done. And that there may be, you know, 2 or 3 more puzzles that could be done with that rule set that would sort of build on the fun, so to speak. Is it right? No. Oh no, what have I done? I put 2 3s into row. Oh no, how long ago was that? It's definitely not right. 3. This is... No, something's definitely gone wrong there. I did do 7s quite late, didn't I? So maybe it was a Sudoku error. I'm so sorry. What did I do? Let's work this through. I did 6 there, 7 there. Then I took 7 out. I put 5 there. That looks right. That's a 2. Let's just check that. Okay, so that makes that 2, that 8, I hope, that 5, that 1, that 7, that 5. Oh, and then I put 3 there. Well, that's okay. Well, that's just nonsense. Why on earth did I do that? I don't know. That should be a 7-9 pair, and the order is known. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I think... Well, I'm relieved, actually, because I think that was just a pure spot of nonsense from me. There still has to be a 6, 6, 4, 4, 8. Is that one right? Thank goodness for that. That's a bit of a ricket. 278 people in 5 days. Well, okay, that explains why we've been getting so many recommendations for this. A lot of people have tried it. A lot of people have enjoyed it. It is a very, very good puzzle indeed. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.